Hello everybody, and the students who are targeting UPSC, CSC 125, prelims is one area which is the major hurdle for majority of aspirants. Now one question which is always asked कि prelims आपका निकलेगा, and if you really want to crack prelims, you need to ask certain questions that how do I reduce my negative marking and how do I increase my score. So there are certain pointers I want to discuss when you really want to understand. So for example, as an aspirant, the biggest challenge that is that let's say you scored 50 questions and out of that 30 is right and 20 is wrong. Now I'm more concerned about the questions which are wrong, because how do you reduce negative marking? 1/3 is the negative marking, which means for every one question you are losing 1/3 of the questions you have corrected also. So if you are able to, from negative, if you move to positive, that means if you're able to reduce negative marking and you score extra, so you get a net score of 1.33 into 2, which means 2.66. So one incorrect, if it turns correct, you will add 2.66 marks extra. Now when you track prelims, the cutoff is, let's say, around 95, let's say. So every question will count. Now question comes that how do I reduce my negative part and how do I increase? So my 30 is correct and 20 is negative marking. Now let's say if I'm able to reduce from 20, I came down to 15, let's say. So which means 5 questions which were incorrect, वो correct हो गए हैं. And if those incorrect have become correct, so you have your net score will increase by this much amount. So which means that you are going to gain around 13 marks extra. You're going to get around 13 marks extra just by solving 5 questions which were incorrect, जो correct हो गए. Also, if you are able to reduce your attempt, if let's say I am able to reduce my attempt to 45, आपने attempt कम कर लिया, and that attempt reduces your negative marking also. So that is also a blessing. So first of all, whenever you are targeting UPSC, always try to see how many attempts you are doing. Plan the attempts, doable questions, attemptable questions. That is the first rule. Moment you look at the paper, you need to identify planned and doable question and attemptable question, the first rule. Now when you do that, you are able to understand whether I can solve the questions or not. और मैं अभी कुछ questions भी आपको show करूंगा. Second is understand the demand of the question. This is a very common problem aspirants face. आप question नहीं समझते when you solve it. Many times you don't read the instruction also. Art of guess making. Okay, guesswork, smart guess, random guess. Okay, there are so many things. Attempting all questions, very common mistake. Don't do that. Your accuracy has to be, let's say, if your accuracy has to be 50%, and if you're able to score 75 to 80 questions, and if you have good accuracy, you can score it. Elimination method. Now elimination method means smart guessing, using your common sense, implied learning. Elimination ka aspect UPSC has reduced because of only 1, only 2, only 3, like that. Time management, ये भी बहुत जरूरी है. Many times you are not able to manage time. So if you really want to improve these areas, let's understand. पहला, let's see the questions. Now let's say this question comes in front of you. आपके सामने सवाल आता है, and the question comes, which of the above we considered as intangible investment? So I am not looking at the answer. I am looking at the question itself. Now it is saying intangible investment. So these are the keywords. Understand the question. इसमें से कौन सा intangible investment है? Now brand recognition, inventory, intellectual property, mailing list of client. The answer is all 4. All 4 are your intangible capital, because intangible capital से service industry में mainly these are the intangible thing which help you to grow. So similarly, आप इस question को समझो. Investment in the asset. They are asking the question. When you understand the question, you can solve the question. Many times you don't understand the question, you still solve the question. Don't do that. Okay, let's see this question. What is the chief purpose of the constitution of a country? Okay, what is the chief purpose of which of these statements best reflect? इनमें सबसे best, what is the concept of constitution? Constitution is about constitutionalism. It is about creating a power structure and putting limits on that power structure. Also, it is about set of rules, how country should be governed. So you need to understand that. So if you look at it, determines the objective of making a necessary law. Yes, it is one of the objectives, but not the there are other options also. We'll see. It enables creation of political office and government. This is also right. It defines and limits the power of the government. This is the most important function of the constitution. This is called constitutionalism. Constitutionalism. It secures social justice, equality and social security. No, this is also okay. But the best option is C. Now what happens that mostly students when they are trying to solve it, they might not read the question. उन्होंने question ही नहीं पढ़ा. Chief purpose, which of the statement best reflects it? So wherever you are solving, give your time to understand the requirement, see the question's requirement and solve it accordingly. Otherwise you might make mistakes, silly mistake हो जाएंगे. Now certain questions, for example, this is a scheme about Janni Suraksha Yojana. Janni Suraksha Yojana. Now when you look at this scheme, now this is a very old scheme, JSY, a scheme which came almost 15 years ago. Now if you look at the scheme, it has 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is a very tough question. You can solve it only if you know all of these. Normally I will tell, even this year, Anemia Mukt Bharat strategy, again all of the options whenever you look at it, I would solve the question only if I know all these options, because they have made, ये जो options बनाए हैं इन्होंने बहुत सोच समझ के बनाए हैं. If you have read the topic recently, if you have read all the pointers, then only you can solve it. Now such questions have to be avoided. अगर आप solve करिए तो be make sure, because they are asking what is correct and you have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 and if you know every option, every statement अगर आपको पता है तभी, then only you can solve the question. Now these are common things which aspirants do not understand. They randomly, okay. It aims to promote institutional delivery of poor pregnant women. Okay, safe mother intervention. It reduce the maternal and neonatal among the poor pregnant women. Includes providing public health facilities to sick infants up to 1 year of age. So it is called Janani Suraksha. Janani means mother. For child, there is a different scheme. So when you try to understand, I'm not explaining the topic. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि ऐसे questions को solve करने से पहले be very sure. Even if you don't know one option, leave it. Because such questions are very tricky. Anemia Mukt Bharat. Now this is a recent government scheme which was in news. अगर आपने पढ़ा है, if you have read it properly, if you remember it, recall it, that is why it is important. When you have read the topic, revise it 5 times. 5 बार revise करिए. Revise it 5 times, 6 times, 10 times. So that if the question comes, जब question आएगा तो आप एक option को decode कर पाओगे, filter कर पाओगे. Otherwise, this is not going to work. So that is how it has to be understood. Now, questions like this. With reference to Indian economy, following statement. Increase in need, increases REER. Now when I look at it, well, increase in the nominal effective increase indicates appreciation of rupee. If NEER goes up, answer is yes. NEER goes up means $1 was 40, now it has increased to 30. So there is the appreciation of rupee is now stronger. Now this statement is right. But when the rupee appreciate, हमारा trade down हो जाता है, trade depreciate हो जाता है, trade weak हो जाता है, because our items become costly. Import is cheaper, but exports are difficult. So it indicates improvement in the trade competitiveness. Answer is no. अगर REER बढ़ता है, तो trade competitiveness बढ़ता नहीं. REER हम अभी same मान लेते हैं. REER into inflation is NEER. NEER equal to inflation into REER. Okay, so increase in the real indicates improvement in the trade competitiveness. ये नहीं होगा. अगर REER या NEER बढ़ेगा तो trade competitive नहीं होगा, trade weak होगा हमारा. Because our currency is appreciated. Our currency appreciate होगा तो आपका export down होगा. Because your items are costly. आपके Indian items costly हो जाएंगे. Increasing trend in the domestic inflation related to the inflation to other is likely to cause increasing divergence between REER and NEER. ये हमने बताया आपको. दोनों में अगर if there is divergence between NEER and REER, the inflation will be a factor. So statement 1 is correct and statement 3 is correct. तो यहाँ 1 and 3 हो गया. Now ऐसे questions के लिए these are conceptual questions. And people who have read the basic concept, they will be able to solve it. तो ये conceptually आप sound अगर होगे तो ये question को solve कर ले जाओगे. And that is where the focus has to be. Then coming to this question, again this is a question of economics. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statement. If the inflation is too high, Reserve Bank of India is likely to buy government security. महंगाई ज़्यादा है. RBI will buy government security. अगर government security खरीदेगा तो पैसा देगा. That means money supply will increase. If the money supply will increase, inflation will increase. तो ये statement नहीं होगा. This statement is wrong. Okay, 1 is out. Answer is B. Very simple. It should sell government security. Okay, तो ये statement गलत है. If rupee is rapidly depreciating, RBI is likely to sell dollar. Rupee depreciate हो रहा है. Rupee को strong करना है. You have to increase the demand of dollar. And thereby you start selling dollar का supply बढ़ जाएगा, dollar का demand कम हो जाएगा, तो ये statement सही है. if the interest rate in USA and European were to fall, that is likely to induce to RBI to buy dollars. अगर interest rate वहां कम होता है, that means वहां की currency सस्ती हो जाएगी, which means RBI will buy dollars because your currency is cheaper. Low interest rate पे मुझे डॉलर मिल जाएंगे. तो this statement is also correct. तो यहाँ correct पूछा है, तो B is the right answer. Now thus these kind of questions can be solved only if your static is strong. मैं क्यों दिखा रहा हूं? आपका प्रीलिम स्टैटिक से निकलेगा. ये स्टैटिक है, थ्योरी प्योर स्टैटिक है. Now this is static. This can be solved. आप इसको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं ऐसे सवालों को. But coming to these questions cannot be solved. Current based है. अगर सॉल्व तब करो when you have read the topic so well that so these are current based questions. These are current based questions. Not static part. Difficult to solve. But if I say this question, if I say, now these are conceptual questions. Okay, these are static, concept based. So static strong hoga, your score will go up. Current affair, if you have read it, well and good. But kam padho, अच्छे से पढ़ो, because UPSC is creating 4-4 statement. They are even slight minute statement का meaning बदल जाएगा, answer will change. So it is very important when you are solving questions that हमको इन सारी बातों का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. And if you are able to understand the requirements of the question, then only. So focus on static part. आप static पे focus करिए. Okay. Try to rationalize your attempt. Okay. Elimination method can be used based on a common sense and logic. And if you try to solve it, हमेशा question paper को analyze करिए. The rule of analysis should be 1:2. That means if you solve 1 hour, 2 hours should be analysis. आपका analysis 2 hour होना चाहिए. Analyze every statement, every line, every factual thing. Because when you do it, you understand the requirements of the examination. Now, students who are targeting, UPSC, reach out to us, join our test series, see the difference qualitatively, and you can also get guidance and mentoring from us. और आपको prelims निकालना है. The teachers team at our place, they all have qualified prelims. मैंने भी 3 बार prelims निकाला है. So it is not a big deal. You can crack it, but you need to understand the requirements of the exam. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.